Alright, what is going on, boys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Got you guys to the settings video today. But real quick, I just want to say thank you guys for the support on my last video. It went pretty crazy. I really appreciate it. And yeah, let's hop into the settings. So real quick, I'm gonna start with controller and then go down. I'm gonna try to do this in one take. So if I stutter or talk too fast, I'm sorry, but just bear with me, please. So but starting it off, I play tactical. This is my preferred play style for controller. I used to be default, but I switched to tactical just because it's easier to play on, especially with the newer movement, and I can drop shot a lot easier without taking my thumb off of my stick to drop shot. So if you still play default, I would recommend playing tactical and at least trying it out, because it's better for slide canceling and drop shot and stuff like that. So this game, I am playing 8-8. I feel like the sensitivity in this game is very sensitive. It just, if you go higher, it just feels like you're playing on like double the sense. So right now I feel like 8 is like a perfect median for me. That's where I've stayed at since the launch. So but going down, nothing this really changes. I play with controller vibration on. I know majority of people don't, but I've been playing with controller vibration on since I was a kid, since the first Call of Duty that I played, and I just can't play without it. So none of this really changes. If you still play with trigger effect on, I think it comes on by default when you first get the game. It is unbelievably stupid. If you still have this on, please take it off, because I'm telling you, you would improve by a lot. Going over to aiming, none of this really matters besides what I mentioned in all of my settings videos that will help every single person out tremendously, especially with aim assist, is the ADS sensitivity. So none of this really matters right here in this category. But if you go down to aiming advanced settings and then you go down to custom sensitivity per zoom, you can change your in-scope sensitivity for each zoom that you're using. So the first zoom is going to be for like smaller reflexes and iron sights. And then once you get to like the 8x, 9x, I think 6x and 7x might be for sniper scopes as well. But these, I'm gonna go ahead and say these three are really meant for like snipers, and I have mine set for a little bit higher. But for the iron sights and the smaller reflexes, I have it set to 0.7. I'm not sure if it's like a placebo, but I've been saying this for the longest time since my first settings video, that if you put this lower, you will stick on people literally. So it's actually incredible. And you will win so many more gunfights, because a lot of people actually, like, their aim assist comes off of people, and I know aim assist is kind of broken sometimes, good and bad, but definitely this settings is incredible. So please try it out. I would recommend going below 0.6. I think 0.6 is the lowest that I've ever gone, but I usually hover around 0.7 to 0.8, 0.85 maybe. But yeah, just please try this out. Obviously the lower you go, the slower you move, and the higher you go, the faster you move in scope. So alright, but going over to movement, not much has really changed. If you don't run tactical sprint assist and you were running auto tac sprint, this is basically what this is. I'm not too sure why they changed the wording for it, but it's the exact same thing. And yeah, nothing's really changed for that, so they just changed the wording. I have tap to slide on just because I enjoy still slide canceling, even though omni movement is still in this game. But if you do omni movement a lot more than you do sliding, then I would suggest changing this to tap to dive. But other than that, nothing in here has really changed. I think movement advanced settings where you have like some of the more very advanced stuff, like the plunging underwater that I've mentioned in recent videos, but nothing in here is very important for multiplayer, at least. So but going over to combat, you've got not really some important stuff, maybe the armor plate behavior, which I believe is apply all by default. But other than that, nothing's really changed in here either. So alright, and then in graphics, I have my 120 hertz refresh rate turned on. I play on a PS5, so that's why I have it turned on. And then in quality, I have both of my motion blurs turned off. If you play with this on, you are incredible. I don't know how you do it. Fidelity X cast just makes the game look sharper and prettier, which I have mine turned on, but only to half of what it should be. Some people like it 200%, but I think it looks too sharp, so I have mine set to half. And then for on-demand texture streaming, I have it set to minimal. If you read it, in theory, it sounds good, but it does make your game a bit more buggy and just like FPS issues, so I have this set to minimal. And then in view, I have my FOV set to 119. It's not 120 for very specific reasons. If you've even watched any of my recent, or I guess past settings videos, I mentioned there was a video on Twitter where someone was talking about 120 FOV actually making your aim assist just more buggy, and it would break a lot of the time. So if you had it to 119, it wouldn't do it, and it's practically the exact same FOV. So that's why it's 119. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I just went with it because it's literally the exact same FOV in theory. So you want to have your ADS field of view affected, and your weapon field of view is personal preference. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you read it, it's pretty self-explanatory. So if you have it set to narrow, your gun looks bigger. If you have it set to wide, your gun looks smaller. And then obviously default is what it is by default. But I feel like wide just looks better and you can see more. I don't know, I'm just weird. So and then none of this really matters. The first person camera movement, I would suggest very much to put this to least 50%. If you don't know what this means, this is basically just saying like whenever a grenade explodes near you, your screen won't shake as much, and I believe that's very important for gunfights. So I believe the default is 100%, so I have mine set to half of that, 50%. And then inverted flashbang, this is obviously also personal preference. I have mine set to on. This makes my screen go black instead of white whenever I get flashed, so I don't have eye problems by the time of like 50 years old. So in audio, I don't believe I've changed anything really. I might have changed some like music stuff because I don't like listening to music in the pregame lobby because it sucks now, but I don't really believe I've changed any like stereos or nothing like that, like the very nerdy stuff. I'm not all into that. So let me see, interface. I think I do have my FPS, or I'm not FPS, my latency and maybe like packet loss turned on. I'm not 100% sure, which I believe would be in the telemetry, but like I said, none of this is very like that important. Yeah, so telemetry, I have everything turned on besides the connection meter. So I have what time it is in my region, the packet loss, and then the ping, or I guess server latency in the lobby. But obviously all of this is going to be personal preference, and none of this is really like what you have to follow. So whatever you prefer is definitely going to be here. One thing I would recommend is crosshair is actually to turn mine off, is the spread. I don't know why I have this on still, but if you really wanted to, you could change the color to this as well. I know some people like to have the I think it's like the teal one because I think they can see it better, but I don't really care that much, so I don't have this on teal or green or nothing like that, so I haven't changed anything. But the center dot I would recommend having on. The little boxes around it, the 4 little lines that have been in every Call of Duty, I think that's very annoying and just it distracts me a lot. It's not very big, but it just annoys me. So yeah, I don't know why I had this turned on, but I've kind of forgot about it. So but yeah, that was the settings video. Sorry if it was kind of short. It's not really a lot of settings to go over or really explain in multiplayer. When Warzone comes out in like a month or two, I'll do one. But I know Warzone comes out, I guess tomorrow, but technically today whenever the video goes live. But yeah, I'll have one up in a month or two whenever everything gets settled. And yeah, also if you guys are new here, please subscribe. We're on the road to 1K, and I really do appreciate all the support recently. It's been absolutely insane. So like I said, my last video did incredible, and I really do appreciate all the new people coming and all that. So but yeah, anyways, I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next Warzone video. I cannot wait. And yeah, love you guys.